Polaris took the side-by-side world by storm a few years back when they released their 50-inch wide, fuel-injected RZR 800. Seeing the sport market's demand for a wider machine, they soon followed up with their 60.5-inch wide RZR S. With a lot of 30 and 40-something-year-olds getting involved in the sport side-by-side segment, Polaris came out with sort of a family vehicle for 2010 with the release of the RZR 4. Recently, Polaris brought ATV On Demand and other members of the media out to a beautiful private ride location near Great Falls, Montana to check out the 2011 Ranger, RZR, and ATV lineups. Here's what's new for RZR for 2011.
I'm John Kostanek, Product Manager for Ranger RZR, and we're here in Cascade, Montana, looking at the new 2011 products. What we have here in front of us is a 2011 RZR S. A lot of cool things are new on the RZR S this year in 2011. The most noticeable is the new style in the front. It's a more aggressive styling, so you look great when you're out riding around. With the new style, we also get a 29% increased area in the front grille for better cooling. The other thing for Model 11 that's pretty cool, new high low beam headlights, 20% more power, 60 watt high beam. Now you notice for 2011 we have a new color. It's in mold Indy Red. Other things you'll notice, new Sachs monotube big bore shocks, 2-inch body, great cooling, less or better fade resistance. And if you haven't noticed already, new ITP 900 XCT tires, 27-inch tires. First time ITP has been offered from an OEM on a stock model, but they're high performance tires, unidirectional, great tracking, great mud clean out, and we're really excited to put it on the RZR S. The reason we made some of these changes in 2011 to the RZR S is we now have a stock model at a lower price point without compromising the features and the specs that make a RZR S a RZR S. Same ground clearance, same long travel suspension, and same agility with the engine behind the seat layout. Now, other things we changed on Model Year 11 to improve the ride for the consumer. One thing you'll notice, new one-piece nets, easy to get in and out of the vehicle, and with a bigger buckle, you can even operate them with your gloves on. And one of the best features, and most wanted features ever for RZR, new dry storage glove box. Awesome style, 3 gallons of storage volume to keep all the things you want to keep close at hand, nice and dry on your ride. For 2011, still have the high output 800 EFI, but we made a change to the engine controller this year, and we have 30% more range. Sequential spark engine, really an improvement that consumers are going to appreciate because using less gas, be able to stay out on the trail longer and extend your ride. So we looked at the RZR S. Now let's look at the original Ranger RZR 50-inch wide trail vehicle built for razor sharp trail performance. A lot of the same changes we already looked at on the S with the style, the high-low beam headlight. You also notice that we have a high output engine in 2011 on the Ranger RZR 50-inch. Same engine as RZR S and RZR 4. In addition, we still have the glove box that we showed you on the RZR S, but to add even more storage, we also have bed rail extenders in back, 60% more cargo carrying capacity, 23 easy lockdown points for your straps so you can secure your cargo in there. And these bed rail extenders offered on the 50-inch are also available as an accessory for RZR S and RZR 4 to easily install for the consumers that want it on those vehicles. Alright, so let's look a little bit closer at the shocks we have to offer in 2011. First, we have the standard RZR 50-inch shock. It's a twin tube shock. Next, we have the standard model, the new standard model RZR S shock. This is the monotube big bore Sachs shock. Great performing shock. Now on the painted premium models, as I mentioned, we have the Fox Podium X shock. And this was a little higher performance than our monotube shock, but they both have the same suspension travel. Then we have the Fox Podium X 2.0 shock. This is the shock that's used on all our RZR 4s. Awesome shock. Now, the difference is, if you notice, The preload adjustability, we have a cam system on the 2 standard models. When you get into the painted premium models, the limited editions, and the RZR 4, it's a threaded preload adjustment. The other thing you'll notice is our standard model shocks do not have piggyback reservoirs where the Fox podium shocks do. The last 2 things is the standard model shocks, non-rebuildable. The Fox Podium Max are rebuildable, and they have compression adjustment. Let's talk about the RZR 4 for 2011. Just 6 months ago, we launched the RZR 4, first side-by-side designed for multi-passengers, 4 passengers. 6 months later, we're now releasing a new model and a great improvement to it, electronic power steering on the Robbie Gordon Blue-White Edition. In addition, have a great LE offering, black carbon fiber with red accents, non-power steering. So you have the choice of which way you want to go.
The first RZR we tried was the 50-inch wide limited edition Orange Madness model. For $1,400 more than the standard RZR, you get an orange paint job, graphics, seat covers, special wheels, plus electronic power steering. There's enough low-end power and torque from the 760cc high-output twin to send the rear tires spinning from a dead stop. Racing through high-speed switchbacks, the engine continued to feel very responsive. During our limited test time, we felt this engine would be equally happy at home on tight trails or racing through the wide-open desert. Despite its narrower 50-inch width, the standard RZR can be cornered surprisingly fast, thanks to its low center of gravity and anti-sway bars. The 50-inch wide RZR features 1.5 to 2 inches more suspension travel at both ends than most of its sport utility competitors. Dual A-arms at both ends feature 9 inches of travel up front and 9.5 inches of travel in the rear. Overall suspension action was good, but it was perhaps made to seem even better with the addition of electronic power steering. Overall performance of the vehicle was quite good, but expect to replace your stock skid plates if you cross cattle gates regularly. In case you're still trying to figure out how good electronic power steering is in a Polaris RZR, in this 4-seater Robbie Gordon edition, it's light enough that you can turn the front wheels side to side with just one finger. On the Robbie Gordon edition RZR 4, the EPS is perhaps the heart of what proves to be a relatively light and nimble handling machine for you and 3 of your friends. Despite having a 26-inch longer wheelbase and weighing 255 pounds more than the RZR S, Polaris' high-output 800 engine feels surprisingly potent powering the RZR 4 along, with or without all 4 occupants on board. At 60.5 inches wide with a wheelbase of 103 inches, the RZR 4 is extremely stable at high speed. It's also a very stable cornerer that can be driven into tight turns aggressively with little chance of two-wheeling. While the vehicle may be a bit large for ATV trails, we can see it manipulating its way down most Jeep trails and going virtually anywhere a rail buggy can go with a far superior ride. Dual A-arms with Fox 2.0 shocks deliver a full foot of suspension travel at both ends. Overall suspension was better than we expected, providing a smooth, supple ride over small bumps racing through the fields. Over larger bumps, G-outs, and small jumps, the suspension did a good job of resisting bottoming, while continuing to provide a pleasingly plush ride. If you're looking for a side-by-side vehicle, but want the whole family to get involved, then the RZR 4 is probably the vehicle for you. With a base price of $14,999, the blue and white Robbie Gordon edition is easily worth the extra $800 for the benefit of power steering. While riding in most side-by-sides is similar to riding in a Jeep, riding in a RZR S or other RZR model is more like riding low in a dune buggy. Inside the 60.5-inch wide, 1,000-pound RZR S, Polaris' high-output 800 twin feels powerful and responsive, propelling the machine corner to corner. Power output is good throughout the RPM range, and we can easily see ourselves ripping past Jeeps on Jeep trails or blowing past other side-by-sides in the dunes or wide-open desert. While its engine is a bit faster than other under 800cc side-by-sides that we've tested, what really makes the RZR S faster is its chassis and suspension. With its 60.5-inch width, low center of gravity, and rear sway bar, you can attack corners faster in the RZR S than you can any other stock side-by-side. Along with good stability, it's an accurate steer and a predictable slider, thanks in part to its new ITP tires. With dual A-arms and a foot of suspension travel at both ends, the RZR S can simply traverse rough sections of trail at full speed, where other machines force you to slow down. The 2011 Polaris RZR S provided us with the most intense 30 minutes of fun we've had in a stock side-by-side, and the entire line of RZR vehicles are all about having fun.